Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. With it being Saturday, once again, that means it's time for another episode of Yield Weekly Home Fragrance Roundup. If you're new around here, this is a long-running series on my channel where I just chit-chat about all of the home fragrance that I was using around the house over the course of the last week. So what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, what I was lamping. I do all of this alongside my trusty assistant, Alf, who is in my lap. Alf, if you're not familiar with him, is a pug. Here he is. We're both wearing black today. So, well, Alf wears black every day. But anyway, he's kind of blending in with my shirt. But he's here to be my, I guess, moral support. He just kind of snoozes in the background of my videos. So if you have never owned a pug, now you know what it's like. It's a lot of snoring, a lot of different noises, but I love him and he's sweet. He's my constant shadow. So anyway, before we get into talking about all of this home fragrance from this past week, let's do the usual disclaimer. So check out the description box. I will link where you can find any of the candles that I am talking about this week. I will list the candle sales that are happening at my personal favorite candle companies. There's some discount codes down there. There are also some videos that I have filmed regarding home fragrance. For example, if you are new to home fragrance just in general and you don't know what a candle crock or a candle lamp is, you don't know how they work, you don't know whether you're supposed to pour out the wax when you're using a crock or what you're supposed to do with your candle lamp. There's still people out there who are not familiar with either of these two accessories. So I do have a video that kind of explains both of those candle accessories to you. I reference candles and crocks pretty frequently here on my channel, so that might be helpful for you. There's also some crocks as well as some candle lamps that are linked down there that I think are fantastic quality. Things that I've actually used myself. So yeah, there's just a lot of information in the description box. So feel free to check that out if you are so inclined. But before we get started into the little deep dive of what I was burning and melting this past week, let's go ahead and take a little tour of the downstairs and see what I am currently burning and melting in my crocs. I'm not using my candle lamp today, but I will show you what I have had under my candle lamp this week. It's a very potent fragrance, so I don't necessarily need to have that lamp on every single day. Honestly, I think I should have probably just kept burning the candle, but anyway, I thought I'd try melting it, and it is potent, let me just tell you that. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll start talking about the rest of these candles and wax melts. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started here in the entryway today. I am burning my beloved. If you've been around on my channel for any amount of time, you have heard me reference Kringle Reserve Jelly Donut. This is not only one of my favorite all-time ever fragrances from Kringle Candle, it is actually one of my favorite fragrances of all time of really any candle company. This is definitely in my top 5. If you are looking for one of the most authentic, one of the most delicious gourmand candles that you could ever experience, which also happens to have incredible strength and throw, you have to try Kringle Jelly Donut. Now, this one is sold out rather frequently for good reason. It sells out because a lot of people love this one. I do think it is one of Kringle's best performers overall. And honestly, I personally cannot get enough of it. I have several more 2 wicks in my backup stash. I also purchased 2 of the 4 wicks when those were first released several months ago. I haven't started burning the 4 wicks yet. I've decided to go ahead and finish up a few more of my 2 wicks first, but I am really excited to dig into the 4 wick format when it comes to Jelly Donut. I decided to go kind of with a whole gourmand situation in the downstairs today because honestly, my Scentsy is way overdue to be changed. I put all of these cubes in that are currently in my warmers probably, I think it was on Monday. The fragrance, I'm filming this video on Friday, has pretty much completely faded. One of the scents I can actually still smell a little bit, but it's definitely time for me to change my Scentsy wax. So I figured since I don't have the Scentsy going in the background, I would go ahead and light up 3 candles this morning. So let's go ahead and see what I am burning in the kitchen to create this whole gourmand, really super yummy bakery vibe that is happening in the house right now. Welcome to my kitchen island where I am currently burning voluspa Tahitian coconut vanilla. This candle here has, she's kind of been a little bit of a problem child. I'm not going to deny that. She's been a troublemaker. I'll just be completely honest. This particular hearth candle from voluspa has definitely given me a run for my money. She does continue to try to want to tunnel. I keep correcting it, but I'm definitely a little bit annoyed with this particular hearth candle. My California Summers is doing just fine. That candle is burning perfectly. Just like my very first voluspa hearth candle, which was the Noble Fir Garland. Never had a single issue with that candle fully pulling out, but for whatever reason, this particular one just does not want to behave. Here's the thing though, I cannot get enough of this fragrance. This is, I think, one of their most delicious tropical fruity scents. So this not only has that beautiful gourmand creamy coconut vibe happening, but there's also a little bit of peach in here. It just smells so summery, so tropical, so fruity. Also, despite the issues, I will say the strength and throw on this one is really fantastic. So other than it just looking a little bit messy while it's doing its job, I guess you can say otherwise the candle is doing fine. I'm just so used to my other hearth candles burning, I guess a little bit more like how I expect them to. So anyway, she's a troublemaker in some ways, but honestly, I am still glad that I purchased this one. I still have not done a formal review of the Tahitian coconut vanilla, but I will be getting that up next week. So stay tuned for that. But listen, this is a great combination with the Kringle jelly donut out in the entryway. And let me show you guys what I am burning in the family room on the opposite end of this part of the house here. This trio that I have going right now, if you happen to have all 3 of these fragrances, I would highly encourage you to burn them all together because the scent that is created by this specific combination of candles is heavenly. I literally cannot explain how good all of these smell. All right, let's go ahead into the family room and see what's happening in there. All right, we are now in the family room where I am burning the original version of the Bath & Body Works berry waffle cone. I still stand by the fact that this is the very best version ever of berry waffle cone. And I would love for Bath & Body Works to bring back the scent in this original packaging because this has always burned so incredibly well for me. I'm not sure what they did differently with the formulation of this one back in the day. I think it was it 2017 that this one came out? I can't remember if it was 2016 or 2017, but at the time that it was released, I fell in love with this particular one. And I'm not kidding you. I can't even remember the exact number, but I had several, probably way too many crates. You know, the crates that they give you when you shop at Bath & Body Works and you buy more than 6 candles at a time. I had several of those in my backup stash, and since 2017, when I purchased all of these, I have slowly been working my way through them. I think this might be one of my last ones here, and it really bums me out that I finally reached the end of this particular part of my collection, because I immensely enjoyed this fragrance over the years, and I have tried some repackages of this particular scent, and I just don't think any of the repackages were ever as rich and as decadent and truly gourmand as, like I said, this very first version of the berry waffle cone. So little bit of a bummer there, but I am glad that I just decided to go ahead and enjoy all of these candles and not just let them sit in my collection and collect dust, because that's really what they've been doing over the years here. I'm really glad that I took the time to enjoy them. So this is my challenge to you, that if you have a larger collection with some beloved fragrances in that collection, I really encourage you to actually begin enjoying all of those specific candles. It is nice to know that, you know, like if you ever want to smell a favorite thing, you can reference it. But if you have several of that favorite thing, maybe just keep one as a nostalgic type of, you know, thing, and then enjoy the rest. Like, burn this stuff. It is so wonderful to just walk into a room and smell something that you know that you love and that brings you a lot of joy, and to know that you're actually enjoying it versus just knowing that you have it stashed away in a closet somewhere. I have been on this mission to enjoy everything that I have, not only when it comes to candles, but also my perfume collection, things in my makeup collection, or skincare. Like, I'm constantly fighting against this urge to quote unquote save or collect things. There really is no reason for me to do that. I would rather just enjoy things in the moment at this stage in life. So if you need a little bit of encouragement to get there, let me give you that encouragement today. Light up the candle and just enjoy it, you guys. I have loved this one, like I said, and I'm bummed that I'm burning one of my last, you know, amazing candles that I had in my Bath & Body Works collection. But you know what? I am also loving the fact that it is Friday afternoon and I'm enjoying my afternoon and smelling the things that really make me happy. So anyway, there's your little bit of a push. But also, if you enjoy being a collector, just do that. Listen, if that's really what makes you happy, then you should do that. But I know there's a lot of people who say, oh, I wish I could whittle down my candle collection, but I just don't feel like I should, or what if I can't get my hands on any of these fragrances in the future? I'm here to tell you, there's always new candles coming out. I bet you'll find something new to love, especially if you can't get a backup. I love this. And like I said, I'd love to have more of it, but also I have found other amazing fragrances since purchasing this one. So anyway, for what it's worth, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. All right, let's go check out what I have in my candle crocs this week. Well, 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 look who made her way into the kitchen. My beloved laundry room candle crock. I ended up switching out the candle lamp that normally sits in this nook in the kitchen here, and I decided to go ahead and bring my crock out here and just do a little switcheroo for a little while. So this is where you are going to be seeing my downstairs crock stationed, I think, maybe for at least the summer. So I decided to go ahead and put the Kringle Reserve Lemon Splash in here. This candle right here is actually why I ended up moving this crock out into the kitchen. Listen, this Lemon Splash is a fantastic lemon citrus. It does have a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's not a straight up like summertime lemonade type of fragrance, if that makes sense. But it's a really great fresh lemon that cleans the air like nobody's business after you are done cooking your dinner. The cooktop is kind of behind where I'm standing here. And for the last couple of evenings after I have finished cooking dinner, this candle crock basically goes 24/7, but I have noticed that within, I would say, 20 minutes of us, you know, finishing up dinner, the air just almost smells like I didn't even cook dinner. This particular lemon just, I feel like it cleans the air. So for that reason, I think this is the perfect kitchen lemon scent if you are looking for one. It is really, really nice. I will tell you though, if you didn't watch my review, I did do an in-depth review of this one. She did not come without her problems if you're looking to burn her. The wicks gave me a little bit of an issue here. That is not the norm with Kringle, but every once in a while I get a candle that has a wick problem, and this one gave me some issues. Now, I was able to correct it. I could have probably kept burning it. The wick issues may have popped up again, but with this one, it was really easy to just put a paper towel, a rolled up paper towel in there to absorb just a little bit of that wax. It didn't need a lot of wax taken out, but just that little bit kind of allowed the wicks to recover again. So it'd be fine for a couple burns and then it would start to act up again. So I could have probably kept doing that, but I figured, I don't know, I'd rather just have it as a background kitchen type fragrance, and it has been doing its job. So I really do like this one. Even though she has been causing me problems, I am borderline tempted to get it again just to have it around for the days where, you know, we are making bacon, or if I am cooking fish inside. I'm not big on cooking smells lingering, and like I said, this one seemed to clean the air a lot better than some other citrus fragrances that I've had in the past. So if you're looking for that, I would say give this one the old college try, but just be prepared to potentially need to crock her. I do have Crocs linked in the description box down below. No, it's not this one. I wish I could link this crock for you guys, but this design is long discontinued. The two Crocs that I have linked are very neutral, so great for those of you that are not looking for any inspirational quotes on your candle Crocs, or, you know, some kind of kitschy design. So check out the description box. I always have those two neutral options linked for this Saturday video. So, all right, let's go ahead and see what was warming underneath my lamp in the laundry room a couple times this week. Welcome to the laundry room. So I decided to go ahead and move this lamp from the kitchen into the laundry room. I basically just did a little swapperoo with that crock that you just saw. So I decided to go ahead and start melting the Lily of the Valley. Here's the thing. It is so insanely potent underneath this candle lamp that I can really only have it like going for maybe an hour or two. Luckily, this particular lamp, this one is also linked, by the way, in the description box. This is the My Luxe Garden lamp. This one does have a timer. I can also adjust the intensity of the bulb. So I don't have the intensity at full blast, which I normally do with most candles that I'm warming underneath this particular lamp. But with this scent, I can't. It is so potent. If you have ever owned Lily of the Valley from HomeWorx, you know about this one. If you love that lily scent, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I do believe this is available at the Slatkin & Co. website. There's also a pink Lily of the Valley now. I have not tried that one. I'm kind of borderline tempted to try it and see if it's a little bit maybe less aggressive than the original Lily of the Valley. If you have the pink one, will you let me know your thoughts? I would love to know if it's maybe a slightly softer Lily of the Valley. But yeah, anyway, so this one, I did a couple of sessions this week, and I've actually had this window open when I have been warming it, and that little breeze that comes through the laundry room here. It's kind of a narrow laundry room, so when I open this window, it creates a little bit of a wind tunnel effect. And oh my gosh, that breeze, that nice warm breeze that we've had this week from the nicer weather, it has moved this fragrance throughout much of the downstairs, despite me not necessarily wanting that to be the case. So listen, if you're looking for a HomeWorx powerhouse, I don't think you can go wrong with this one, but I will tell you, it is just a very intense Lily of the Valley. So make sure that you're into that. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to warm this layer by layer. It's probably gonna take me a few weeks to get through this one the way that I'm currently warming it, but you know what? It's fine. It'll just last a little bit longer into the beginning of summer that way. All right, let's go ahead and move upstairs. I can't remember if I have, I do have something in the upstairs back bedroom. So let's check out what has been going on in that crock this week. This is the last crock we're going to take a look at, and in here I have the Kringle Reserve Sea Salt and Bergamot, which is a new fragrance for spring summer 2025 from Kringle Candle. I had burned this one to the halfway point and it was doing fine. In fact, it was doing more than fine. It was a really great strength and throw, a lovely fragrance, but I have a lot of candles downstairs right now, and there were a couple of new candles that I dug into this week so that I could begin burning those and reviewing them for my channel. So I decided to go ahead and just grab this one and plop it into the crock up here in the back part of the house. The great thing about this particular location is that anything that I put into this candle crock that has any significant strength and throw to it ends up filling the entire hallway, the entire back hallway of the house. So this just is a great source of fragrance to have that I don't really have to think about. Like I said, I do keep my candle crocks on 24/7. So whether I am just waking up in the morning or getting ready to go to bed at night, I have this constant source of fragrance just kind of wafting throughout the upstairs. And this particular scent is kind of a nice background fragrance because it is really fresh. It is kind of a cleaner, almost kind of borderline soapy clean type of scent, but really pleasant overall. So yeah, listen, if you want a really nice, fresh, clean fragrance for the summer, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. If you just want to try it prior to committing to a candle, one of the things that I appreciate about Kringle is that they do offer their daylights and they also offer their wax melts. And if you are ever iffy about a fragrance, always just go in with a daylight or a wax melt first. The daylight is not going to be a room filling experience, but it at least allows you to light a votive to be able to experience the fragrance once it's lit. You can stick your nose over it. Those daylights also from Kringle are really great for smaller rooms like powder rooms. So you can definitely burn those in a space like that and it will adequately fill a powder room. But you know, if I were to, for example, put a daylight into this back bedroom here, I think it would probably get lost. That being said, it is one of the best ways, I think, to actually experience a fragrance and see if you like it prior to committing to a large size. Because Kringle does use 100% soy, I do think their candles are quite slow burning. And so if you get stuck with a candle that you're not really into, that's definitely a bummer. So like I said, go for those daylights, go for those wax melts if you are not sure. But anyway, for what it's worth, I'm loving this one back here. I decided to put this in, was it at the end of last weekend? I can't remember. I don't remember when I put it in here, but it's still going strong. I imagine I will probably go ahead and turn this crock off next Friday, possibly next Saturday or Sunday, but as of right now, it is still as potent as can be, so I'm gonna let her go. All right, let's head downstairs and see what else I was burning and melting this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that tour of what is currently happening around the house right now. Like I said, it smells like just an incredible bakery experience in here right now. If you have all three of those candles that I referenced in that little tour, you really should try burning them all together. That is such an amazing combination of fragrances. So good. All right, let's go ahead and dig into the other candles that I was burning this week and also what wax melts I was using. Let's get started with my candle empties because I finished some candles this week. The first one I want to mention is a beloved, and Kringle is having a really amazing sale right now. And even though I should not have spent money on candles that I already have reviewed and know that I love, I'm trying really hard right now to not focus on buying backups, but I could not pass this sale up. It's a really good sale, so I did buy a couple of backups of this one. But yeah, I'm trying really hard right now to only purchase new to me fragrances that I can review versus continuing to buy the things that I love. Yeah, it's a fine balance, right? Trying to stay within the confines of that closet in the upstairs hallway is challenging, especially, like I said, when there's a good sale. But I was pretty good. I only purchased 4 candles from this current Kringle candle sale, but I did get 2 more of this one. I love this. I love this fragrance. This has replaced the Sicilian Orange for me from Kringle. Not that I won't buy Sicilian Orange again, but as far as citrus fragrances go, the Yuzu and Sage from the Spring Summer 2025 collection is chef's kiss. I am so in love with this citrus. First of all, I'm a huge fan of Yuzu. Yuzu is a citrus that is, it's almost like, kind of like a Meyer lemon, but even maybe a little bit sweeter. It's just a very distinct, very interesting type of citrus. I really love yuzu cocktails. Craig and I go to a couple of sushi restaurants that actually have some yuzu cocktails that I am obsessed with. So yuzu in general is one of those citrus notes that I just already know that I love, but their take on yuzu with this particular fragrance is, I just don't think they could have done a better job on this one. I really wanted the 4-wick, but the 4-wicks are not on sale right now, so I decided to go ahead and just go with 2 more of the 2-wicks, and that'll be fine. That'll get me through kind of, I think, the beginning part of summer here. And then I do foresee myself probably just picking up one of the 4-wicks towards the end of the summer as well. This is one of those fragrances that I just don't ever want to be without. I will say, on my last burn, the wick, one of the wicks, well, I think actually both of them started to move. Now, one of them moved a little closer to the side of the jar than I was comfortable with, so I just extinguished that one. But the candle continued to burn down to the wick clip, so you can, yeah, those moved. They definitely moved. You can really tell right now. So always pay attention to your candles as you are coming to the end of them. You can see this wick over on this side, way too close to the side of the jar. So like I said, I just extinguished that one and I let this one over here go because it was still mostly centered. And it ended up consuming all of the wax. I mean, it burned the whole thing. So yeah, I love it. I love it so much. If there is one fragrance that I am going to encourage you to try from Kringle Candle this summer, it's gonna be that Yuzu and Sage. I'm telling you, it's amazing. another candle that I finished this week, and I did do an in-depth review of this one a little bit earlier this week, is the Kringle Reserve Cherry Cola. Listen, don't get this thinking that you are going to get a cherry Coke candle. That is not what this is. I really like what this is. It's more of a cherry almond with a hint of ginger, but it is not cherry cola. And I think if you order this expecting this to smell like that, it doesn't. I don't actually really drink soda. Every once in a while, Craig will order a Coke and I'll have a sip of his Coke. I like the smell of cola, and I especially like the smell of cherry Coke. So I thought it'd be interesting to, you know, have a candle that smelled like cherry Coke, but this just did not translate. This also didn't have that effervescent vibe either. So you can see I finished it. Listen, this burned like a freaking champ. This burned all the way down with zero issues, no wick issues or anything like that, other than the fact that the strength and throw of this one was a little bit lighter than I would personally care for when it comes to this Kringle 2-wick format. The strength and throw was, I think it was probably a 6 at best for the vast majority of the burns. So I think this one needs to be a little bit stronger. Sorry, he needed to readjust. But yeah, I really kind of wish it was cherry cola, but I also really ended up liking what this actually is. So if you're looking for a cherry almond fragrance, I would give this one the old college try. It certainly smells really good for what it is, but cherry Coke, it is not. I still have to review the White Lotus, but I have to admit to you guys, I really enjoyed the White Lotus at first, but for the last, I would say, week or so, I've kind of been struggling burning it. Something about it just started rubbing me the wrong way. I think it started coming across a little bit more powdery even than it was initially. Or something in my nose changed. I don't know what happened, but I'm just not loving burning that one right now. So I still need to review it, and I'll go ahead and do that next week, but I might end up passing that candle along to a friend after I review it, because like I said, at first I actually really enjoyed the fragrance, but I don't know if that powdery note is just kind of starting to overwhelm me or what, but I just couldn't bring myself to burn it this week and review it. So I promise I'll still try and get that review out this next week. But yeah, I don't know that I'm going to go ahead and keep that one for the long term. So I did take 2 candles out of my Crocs at the end of this last weekend. So I just thought I'd let you know that I went ahead and took these guys out. I really enjoyed both fragrances. They were from the Easter collection. I believe almost everything from the Easter collection is now sold out. The candles went on sale for 50% off, and people snatched those up right away. And if you manage to get the Easter petals, if you manage to get the chocolate eggs, congratulations. These are both amazing scents. These are fragrances that I will repurchase next year for Easter if Kringle decides to re-release them. The neroli in the Easter petals here was so beautiful. And this milk chocolate, Kringle does chocolate really well. I think there's a few fragrance notes that Kringle really excels at. I think they do, I think they actually make really beautiful florals for the most part. Obviously, White Lotus is kind of rubbing me the wrong way right now, but this floral here, so lovely. And like I said, chocolate, I think they do chocolate incredibly well. They're bittersweet, they're hot chocolate, this Easter eggs, the red velvet, oh, the red velvet. If Kringle is out there listening somewhere in the universe, please give us the red velvet in the 4-wick format, and maybe also the bittersweet. And next year for Easter, could you come out with 4 wicks in this one? I think a 4-wick in this like colored speckled glass would be so beautiful. I would be so into that. You should do it. You should do it, Kringle. I think it would make a lot of us happy. I mean, I love a 4-wick. There are some people out there who have said that they don't like a 4-wick. Luckily, Kringle is keeping the 2 wicks around, so that's good. But man, if I can get more oomph out of a candle, or if I can just have a massive, big Mama Jama candle sitting on a table or on my kitchen island, like that's a conversation piece. Like I have friends that come over and they see that the voluspa hearth candles and they are like, oh my gosh, I have never seen anything that large. To which I say, how have you never seen a big candle before? First of all, I see big candles all over Instagram. There's a lot of companies doing them right now, and I personally love that. I love a big candle. All right, let's move on. I believe that's not all the empties. Sorry, we are gonna keep going with the empties. Let's talk some HomeWorx empties. I got 2. Okay, this first one here is from the recent Elton John and Slatkin & Co. spring collab. So Elton and Harry collaborated for the first time with HomeWorx back around the holidays. I ended up buying a ton of things, not a ton of things, but several things from that particular collab when it launched over at QVC. So they did a spring version or a spring release as well. And HomeWorx was kind enough to send me the Spring Rain, which I accidentally titled as Summer Rain when the video first went up. It's Spring Rain, not Summer Rain. But yeah, I received this candle in PR from HomeWorx, so a big thank you for sending this one out. Admittedly, on cold sniff, I didn't really like this one at first. It was really heavy on the honeysuckle note. But once I actually burned this, the jasmine came out a little bit more and really helped to balance that, I would say almost overly sweet honeysuckle note. So I actually really ended up enjoying this candle quite a bit. I did get a little bit of a scorch mark on the last burn, just on this side right here. But for the most part, you can see this had a really clean, solid burn. I really love the color of this jar. It kind of goes with the paint color that I have in a couple of the rooms of the house here. I love this kind of baby blue shade. I really enjoyed this fragrance. So I have heard a little bit of some mixed reviews, however, in terms of performance of the candles. This one did just fine for me, but there have been some people that have shared that they ordered from this particular launch and they found the candles to be a little weaker than they would have preferred. This one was fine, but again, I didn't order anything from this particular launch. A lot of the candles were a little bit more focused on spring fragrances, which makes sense with this being a spring release and we are currently in spring. But I myself am starting to move on from florals. I've really been enjoying florals now basically since I want to say January. So I'm kind of ready to move past florals and just get into my summer fruitier fragrances, focus a little bit more on my summer gourmands, and leave the florals behind. So I didn't want to buy a bunch of florals, and from the sounds of it, like I said, the strength and throw from some of those have been a little bit iffy. So definitely, if you are planning on ordering, read through the QVC reviews before you place your order and see if you can get some feedback from people in terms of how their candles are performing for them. But like I said, in terms of some comments that I've seen here on my channel, people have been saying that the candles are lighter than they would like. So this Spring Rain one was the first to sell out. And if you got your hands on this one, let me know how yours is doing. This one, like I said, was potent enough for being a HomeWorx 3-wick. I will say, however, once again, I really don't love the 3-wick format from HomeWorx. I wish they would just stick with their 4 wicks. Those really do perform the best for me. Either their 4 wicks or their luxe candles. But the 3 wicks, I don't know. I love the look of these 4 wicks. They are just so much more substantial. I get a much better strength and throw personally out of my 4 wicks. And I don't know, It's a pretty jar. I'll keep it, but anyway, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts on this one. The other candle that I finished this week is the Farm Stand Strawberry here. This one did just fine. I love this one. What year is this? This was from 2021. I had purchased a bunch of the Farm Stand Trio collections from QVC when that was available. So that consisted of Farm Stand Blueberry, Farm Stand Peach, and Farm Stand Strawberry. I still have 2 sets left, 2 trios left. So I'll be burning through those this summer. When I originally purchased the trios, I think I purchased 8. Yeah. This was why my HomeWorx collection was so out of control. I was constantly purchasing those sets of 2 or those trios from QVC, and those add up. And these are bulky candles. I mean, in terms of, you know, the square footage they take up, like this is a big candle. And typically I can only stack them about 2 high before I get too nervous about them, you know, toppling over. So anyway, for what it's worth, I love Farm Stand Strawberry. I will always repurchase this one in the future. It's a very juicy, sweet strawberry. It's delicious. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It is currently still available. Other HomeWorx candles I was enjoying this week. I busted out one of my backups of my beloved blueberry cheesecake. I love this one. Have you tried this one? Also, these are not the lids that came with these candles. This was there was an ice cream collection that came out several years ago. Anyway, I like these scalloped lids, so I kept them. And also, this was from the time when they were still doing the nice heavier metal lids and not these, I hate these lids. Ugh, I hate them. I miss these old school heavy lids. So if you have these nice lids still in your collection, keep them and put them on some of your other candles. I mean, I think this looks great with the blueberry cheesecake, but I also think that this little scalloped one looked super cute with my Farm Stand candles as well. So yeah, keep your lids. I don't know why they ever switched. I'm sure it was a cost-cutting measure, but I'm not a fan of this particular cost-cutting measure because these are also a lot more slippery when it comes to stacking the candles on top of each other. For whatever reason, these like heavier metal ones, they weren't quite as slidey, if that makes sense. Anyway, have you tried blueberry cheesecake? If you haven't, you should. That smells so good. I get no sour cheesecake note from this one at all. It just is so gourmand, and I love the blueberry. It's like that rich Maine blueberry note. Oh, it's good. It just makes me happy. This is one of those happy summertime fragrances. And listen, I am not a happy person in the summer. I hate the summer. I hate being hot. I don't know. People seem to love sweating and being uncomfortable because people love the summer. I don't. Anyway, another HomeWorx candle that I have just been enjoying the ever-loving life out of is the HomeWorx Sugared Lychee Martini. Have you tried this one? If you have not, you have to try this. It is so good. This is available on the Slatkin & Co. website. So if you just want to purchase a single one, you can do that there. But this is also available in a set of 2 from QVC. And sorry about that. Someone's having a great snooze fest here. But I know that I just spent a little bit of time talking about how, you know, I have to slow my roll when it comes to backups, especially when it comes to backups of HomeWorx candles because they are so big. But I love this particular one so much. I popped onto QVC and I discovered that the set of 2 is currently on sale for a fabulous price. So I did purchase 2 sets of the Sugared Lychee Martini to be able to enjoy this summer. I don't have a lot of backup candles in my stash that are summer HomeWorx fragrances, if that makes sense. So I felt like I had a little room in my collection to bring those 4 candles in. I will definitely be burning these this summer. I will link the set of 2 in the description box at QVC. I'm probably going to regret that because I'm sure you guys are going to purchase them all, and then there will be no more for me, which is really going to bum me out because, like I said, this is such a screaming deal right now. I am borderline tempted to order myself one more set before I head to my mom's house for the weekend, but also I need to be a good girl, so I'm gonna refrain, but I will link it for you guys, like I said, in the description box. The price point is really affordable. There was also free shipping. So anyway, I love this scent. So I now have 4 more of these here. These were all from the same batch as well because my batch numbers match from the old one that I purchased in, I think I actually bought this in 2023 if I am reading this code correctly. So, and this also has the same code on the bottom of the newer candles as well. So you'll be seeing a lot of sugared lychee martini in the coming months here. All right, some other new candles that I finally began testing out. Let us discuss A Better World Fragrance House, which is Drake, as in Drake the rapper. That's his candle brand. You can find it at Ulta. I have reviewed, I think, 3 of the fragrances so far from his collection. But I also recently repurchased these 2. So I had originally purchased both of these back in February, but then friends' birthdays started coming around and I didn't remember to go purchase presents, but I still had these in their original boxes in my little candle cabinet. So instead of going out and buying a gift, I went shopping in my candle closet and wrapped up these boxes very nicely to give to my friends. Listen, the candles weren't used. They were still brand new and I didn't have time to go out and shopping because, once again, I am the worst forgetful person ever. And I don't know, I love to gift candles, so the gifts were greatly appreciated, I can tell you that. But then I had to repurchase these so that I could actually burn them and review them. So this is Carby Musk. Carby Musk, she's giving me a little trouble here, as you can see. I don't know why this one is tunneling. This is Sweeter Tings, and it really does say tings, not things, so tings, Sweeter Tings. This one is not giving me any tunneling issues. You can see that one's burning like a freaking champ here. Here's the thing though, this Carby Musk, this fragrance, you guys, it is so beautiful. This is actually, I believe, the fragrance that Drake wears. Now, listen, I'm not like a huge Drake fan myself. I'm a bigger fan of Kendrick. But this fragrance here is so beautiful. This is a fragrance that I would wear. So I think it's kind of a nice unisex type of scent. It's definitely very musky. It kind of gives off that same vibe that the, what is that Juliet Has a Gun fragrance? Is it their Musky Musk? Is that what I'm thinking of? No, I think Musky Musk is Dossier's version of it. Having a brain fart. Whatever it is, I'll have it at the bottom of the screen here, the fragrance that I'm thinking of. But same type of vibe where it's just, it seems like a lot of like soft musks are blended together to come up with like the ultimate beautiful perfumey musk scent. I love it. Here's the thing though, in terms of strength and throw, I was expecting a lot more of this. It's kind of light. Now, it makes sense because of the type of fragrance that it is, but I want more from it because I love the fragrance so much. So this, also the price point of the Carby Musk is, it's $80. This one's 80 bucks compared to the $48 that I paid for the Sweeter Tings. Now, actually, I didn't pay $80. Listen, I had a 20% off coupon, so didn't quite pay full price, but still pretty spendy for a single one-wick candle. So far, I won't say that I'm disappointed because I love the fragrance, but I am disappointed in the strength and the throw for the price point. So I'm gonna keep burning this until I get to the halfway point, and hopefully this little ledge that's forming over here kind of corrects itself. I'm not trimming this wick super low here so that the wick has a little bit of height left to it, so that if this wax does decide to join the rest of the pool down here, that I don't end up drowning the wicks. But yeah, definitely wish this was a little stronger, but I'm gonna burn it to the halfway point and we'll see how this goes. Hi, sir. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Sweeter Tings is a really nice floral. This smells like it has a little bit of rosewood in it. I can't remember if it actually does, but this is a really pretty rose scent with a little bit of depth to it. I'm not really into the florals right now, like I said, but this is a nice rose. If you are a fan of sweet rose fragrances with a little touch of almost woodiness to them, you should try this one out. All of the Ultas in my area carry the Better World Fragrance House candles, and most stores do have samples out. So if you want to actually smell these in person, you can pop into your local Ulta and hopefully they will have a sample for you to be able to smell. But listen, I have really enjoyed most of the, and I would say I enjoyed all of the fragrances that I've tried so far. Hands down, my favorite still is the Williamsburg Sleepover. So if you are looking for just a neutral, really pretty recommendation, the Williamsburg Sleepover, I would say that one is for sure a must try. So, all right, let's keep going with some of these other candles from this week. I only brought the lid because I hate carrying this giant thing around, but this is the lid for my Voluspa California Summers. This is also a hearth-sized candle from Voluspa that I purchased at the end of last year. I love this one. It is a beachy coconut scent, but it also has a driftwood note. So it's a little bit more of a beachy, woody coconut. It's really beautiful, and I have no regrets about this one. It was an expensive candle, but I have immensely enjoyed burning it, and the fragrance is really sophisticated, and it's one of those scents that just, I don't know, makes me feel like a fancy lady, and it makes me really wish that I had the money to buy a beach house, but that is not my lot in life right now. But before I die, I am positive that at some point in my life, I will own a beach house at the Oregon coast. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, how Craig and I are going to do it, but we're determined to do it. So stay tuned. Hopefully by the time that I'm 60, it will happen. Okay, let's keep going. This is a Kringle Reserve fragrance. This is the Minty Melon. And I almost popped another one of these into my cart, but I didn't. And now that the box is already on its way to me, I'm feeling really dumb for not putting another one in there because, as you can see, I'm gonna be finished with this one after next week, and I'm gonna miss it immensely. I just love this one. This is so good. It is strong. It is a mint that is enjoyable. I love this watermelon. This is a really juicy, sweet watermelon. This is just a great summertime fragrance. It's a happy scent. And yeah, the next order that I place, I will put a backup of this in there for myself because it is that good. I'm almost done with my Chiffon Parfait and Peony from Kringle. Really, really like this one as well. But with this being a floral, I don't think I need a backup at this point in the year, but this is one that I will repurchase for next spring and summer. It is really, really lovely. So if you're still in a floral phase of your life, you should check this one out. It's really, really good. I already have an in-depth review up for it. You can find my Kringle and Country Candle playlist on my main channel page. There are many, many Kringle candle reviews there. So if you're ever wondering my thoughts on a particular fragrance, every single Kringle fragrance that I purchase or that they are kind enough to gift to me, I review all of them, whether I like them or not. And you can find those reviews, like I said, on my main channel page. And the last candle that I want to share is Kringle Sea Breeze, my beloved. This is one of my other all-time favorite fragrances from Kringle. The imaginary beach home in my mind that, you know, I have made up. I don't know. Where would it be? I think it would be in Newport. Newport, I think, is my personal favorite beach town on the Oregon coast. If you have traveled up and down the Oregon coast, let me know what your favorite beach town is. But I think for me, it's Newport. If you have never been to the Newport Seafood and Wine Festival, it happens every single February. It's kind of hard for me to go to it now. I went to it a lot when I was younger, but it always seems to fall on Stella's birthday weekend now. So yeah, I haven't been to that festival in a number of years, but oh my gosh, it is so much fun, and you will never be around better seafood ever in your life. The Dungeness crab, oh, I just eat crab all day long. It is so good. Anyway, this imaginary beach house in my mind, which, yeah, I'm gonna say it's in Newport. This candle would also be a candle that I would burn at my beach house. The Sea Breeze and the voluspa California Summers, either burning together or separately, that is what I want my beach house to smell like. Now, I actually shared my, what did I call that video? It's like different fragrance combinations, different candles or different wax melts or different wax melts and candles that I've paired together that have just created some really yummy concoctions. I shared that video last Sunday. If you missed it, I'll link it in the description box. But one of the combos that I mentioned was the California Summers and the Sea Breeze together. If you have them both, you should light both of those candles at the same time, and you should just prepare yourself to be transported to the beach. Such beautiful fragrances independently, but really delightful together. All right, I feel like Alf is like, are we done yet? He's ready to move on. We're not quite done yet. We gotta talk some Scentsy. Before we get into it, Lisa and I have our spring collab coming up tomorrow. We kind of forgot about it. I'm going to visit my bestie Lisa next month. We are finalizing the plans right now. I did not get to go see Lisa last year. Honestly, May just came and went faster than I think we were even prepared for it. So this year we are making it a priority to get together. If you're newer to my channel, Lisa she's my best friend. I met her here on YouTube. She used to be a subscriber of mine, and over the years, like, we just slowly, literally became best friends. I started buying Scentsy from her, and I just really felt a connection with her. She's a fantastic human being. But yeah, she is who I purchase all of my Scentsy from. I'm not a consultant. I just really personally love the product. So usually every season we get together and we share our top 6 recommendations for the season. And a lot of times we'll also share our favorite warmer. So that is the video that we are finally sharing tomorrow, is our spring suggestions. Even though, I mean, gosh, May is literally right around the corner, but when I am visiting her at the end of May, beginning of June, we will be filming our summer collab together, which I'm really excited about. Like I said, it's been a long time, but anyway, I was actually a little bit lazy with my Scentsy this week, so I don't have a lot to talk about, but I do have a couple of things that I want to mention. So let me grab all of the bars that I know that I did use this week. And is that all of them? Yep, that's it. So we're going to discuss these things here. I really need to change my warmers after filming this video here. So let's hop to it. First of all, I was enjoying a couple cubes of Camu Camu, which is so good. This smells like Camu Camu, which is a tropical fruit, and then passion fruit. I feel like I smell a lot of passion fruit in this one, and I'm personally a big fan of it. So if you've never tried Camu Camu, I love it. I will warn you though, some people have told me that they think Camu Camu smells like cat pee. I don't smell cat pee. Now, I do sometimes smell funky things in home fragrance. A lot of times, pear will smell like dirty armpits to me. Also, sometimes grapefruit can smell a little funky. There's just some notes that'll turn on you sometimes. But yeah, apparently for some people, there is a note in Camu Camu that makes it smell like cat pee to them. So just to warn you, if you're gonna order it, I don't know, maybe prepare yourself for that, but I love it. I think it's delicious. I get it every single summer, so I hope they don't ever discontinue it. But I feel like now that, you know, I've said for multiple years that I love it, Scentsy will probably be like, okay, that broad in Oregon, she loves it, let's do away with it. Everything that I love goes the way of the dodo. All right, Hibiscus Sunset. Have you ever tried this? If you have not, man, this is good. This is a very sweet, tropical floral. I really like this one, but it's almost like candied level of sweetness, very intense. But like I said, I love it. I think it's delightful. And then we have Petals and Peaches and Italian Sunshine. First of all, this Italian Sunshine, I love this one. This is kind of a floral take on the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 fragrance. I decided to pair it with Petals and Peaches. Now, when I mix my Scentsy concoctions, if you will, I will usually take 1 cube of whatever I'm wanting to pair together and put it in the same warmer. So I've got that warmer behind me here. The Petals and Peaches is actually in both warmers that you see behind me here. I put it in at the start of this week, so it's pretty much dead at this point. But this combo here is beautiful. Just adding that extra little bit of peachy fruitiness to that Italian Sunshine made it so amazing. Listen, the Italian Sunshine is good on its own, but that little bit of added peach put the Italian Sunshine over the top. And because this Petals and Peaches has a little bit of floral in it to begin with, I think it kind of initially paired really well with the Italian Sunshine with the little bit of floral that's in here as well. Man, together, I'm telling you, if you have them, please pair them together and then report back. But this combo here, I'm gonna need more Italian Sunshine because I only ordered 1 of these bars, and I'm gonna wanna enjoy this a little bit more this summer. This is a great combo here. Hi, sir. Hello, how are ya? Thanks for sneezing. Okay, we went through another cube of aloe water and cucumber. Actually, I think 2 cubes. Did I change this twice this week? No, I think this is still... I've been so lazy about changing my wax this week. Anyway, aloe water and cucumber is a beloved of mine when it comes to the spring and summer for our downstairs powder room. So that's going in there. I need to change that wax. And then Barefoot Beach. Oh, I finally tried it. First of all, you guys were right. It is an absolute powerhouse. I love Barefoot Beach. I immediately put it into my club. It's already in my club. I know they're going to do away with it at the end of this season, and they're going to have to keep making it for me because I love this scent. This is a creamy, slightly floral, beachy coconut. It's not just straight up coconut. It does give some slight sunscreen vibes, but it's more so coconut, a little hint of like a white beachy floral, and a little bit of that ocean air type of vibe. This is a powerhouse, and it's so good. And like I said, it's in my club. I'm not gonna give it up. You can pry it from my cold dead hands. This is delightful. I hope it sticks around, but I don't think it's going to. So if you have not tried this one yet and you are into beachy scents for the summer, you need to put this one in your cart. It's really, really good. So anyway, that is what Alf and I have for you guys from this past week. let us know what you were burning and melting in the comments down below. I really appreciate you being here. Stay tuned for Lisa and my collab video tomorrow. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.